Hey guys, welcome back to Cocky Gachas, and in this video I'm going to answer the question on a lot of people's mind. Is the normal banner or the pickup banner better to spend your Everstones on? Let's dive right in. So first, let's take a look at the normal banner. As you can see on the screen right now, I have the normal banner with me. This is the normal summon banner, whereby you have a 30 PT most notably, right? This is the thing that people love about this the most. If you do not hit any units within 30 or 29 draws, the 30th draw would definitely guarantee you an epic. So you can see I'm 23 draws away from hitting the PT, and I'm pretty sure with my luck I'm gonna hit PT, but doesn't matter. That's not what we are concerned with. If I were to click on the pickup banner over here, you can see technically it has guarantee, right? But it's not at 30 pools. What it has is that the first guarantee is at 80 pools. Subsequently, it will be at 200 pools, and then lastly it will be at 300 pools. So the PT is a lot higher compared to like a normal banner, and that is exactly why some people might think that it's not really good to pull on the pickup banner. Some are confused. They don't really know how all this like statistics, right? All this rates mix together to form the average. And what we can do is to reference a rated thread. But of course, in this video, I don't want to bore you guys, right? A lot of you are not concerned with like the ins and outs of it. I'm just going to tell you the gist of it, and that is, if you were to pull 300 times on the pickup banner itself, you're going to get on average 16 epics. On top of it, you're also going to get the rare fodder, 30 rare fodder, as well as the 100 artifact fragments itself. If you were to pull on the normal banner over here, considering the PT itself, you're still going to only get 15 epics at 270 pools, because the pickup banner has a free 30 pools, right? If you hit the mileage at 160, you get 30 free pools, which makes up to 270 for the normal banner. So you can see from a statistics standpoint, it is very beneficial to draw on the special banner compared to a normal banner, just from a stats perspective. However, I'm going to touch on some of the reasons why you want to summon on a banner, the normal summon, over the pickup banner, and vice versa, right? So first, we'll touch on the normal banner itself. The advantage of the normal banner is that you are given a lot of variety. So you are not really restricted to the pickup target itself. So in the case of the pickup banner, like here, the pickup target Talia is going to have 10 times more likelihood of appearing, which on average 40% every time you hit an epic, right? So you might not want to always have this one unit in itself, right? And when do you not want to have it? When do you want variety? I think it's very important to have variety at the start of the game, or if you are personally just enjoying like having different units, right? You might want to pick the normal banner, because every single epic has a similar chance of appearing, and on top of that, the little chance that it's also more likely to get Demon, Ayame, as well as the Adrian Angel, right? So this is something that to take note, and variety is very important, because when we were to look at the game itself, there are a lot of instances whereby you do need variety, you do need a lot of different units, right? In particular, the dual gates is one of those, notably because previously there was a bug which allow you to fill the same team twice, but now without the bug, you have to fill 10 units for each time you are going to clear this stage itself. Another one that you can definitely take note a lot is the gates itself. So you can see I cleared up to human gate and fairy gate, so it's like 60 and 61, and then for the beast gate, and they are around 49, 50. So to clear these gates are very important. You can say that the rewards, right, you can get it next time after you get a better squad, right? But the truth is, the rewards itself, right, they remain mostly the same throughout all the stages, which means that the later stages doesn't give significantly more rewards than the earlier stages. So the more stages that you can clear at the start of the game, the faster you are going to be able to progress. Another thing that I've also mentioned previously, right, not just the Hall of Memories, also you need the you need a lot of good units to clear Hall of Memories, but mostly it's not impacted as much. What I would say impacts the most is the town itself. So if you were to enter the town right here, you would be able to see that you have to do part-time jobs, right? Especially now, there is a 2 times part-time job event. If you do not have characters to do part-time jobs, you are at a significant disadvantage when you are trying to progress your town, and town progression can lead to having additional resources. As you can see over here, when I click on my town here, you can see loot buff in effect, right? I'm going to obtain 30% gold loot, right? 2.5% mana crystal loot extra, and then 40 mana dust loot extra, and then 3% mana dust loot as well. So all this is very important. So progressing the town itself is a key part. And how do you progress the town? You need to do part-time jobs. And how do you get enough units to do part-time jobs? you have to have a good variety of units through the normal summon, unless you are super lucky or unlucky, I would say, right? If you were to do the pickup banner, you can get both. You can also get variety if you don't hit the 40%. You always hit the 60%. You're always going to get variety that way. But most of the time, you're not going to be that lucky towards the average. You're going to definitely have less variety compared to a normal summon account. Now, on the flip side, there is also a lot of value in pulling the pickup banner, and the reasons why I want to do it is mainly value proposition. What do I mean by that? From a statistics standpoint, it's very simply, you are going to get more epics if you pull on the pickup banner compared to the normal banner, right? Considering all these guaranteed units, considering the extra tickets, and also on top of that, you're going to get the 30 rare photo, which is very, very considerable. It adds up to around a legendary plus unit, so that is really something that you should look for, and provided you can hit the mileage, right? If you are someone that can have really able to save your Everstones, you're able to hit 300 pulls itself, this is extreme value, the pickup banner. And also, the reason why we want to go for the pickup banner is usually because we want to get 8 copies of a certain unit so that we can hit Origin. And to hit Origin itself with 8 copies is not going to be the easiest thing. As you can see here, I do have my Talia at Origin, and the reason why is because I put on the pickup banner itself. And without that, I'm going to have a harder time. Of course, you can get very lucky with some units, right? You might be able to get like Memphi at 7 copies, which is what I put using normal banner. I did not pull pickup banner, but naturally I got 7 copies of Memphi without pulling her pickup banner, which is extremely lucky. But on the same note, you could have put like 7 copies of a Dora that is not really good, 7 copies of a Cherry that is not really good, and worst case scenario, you might pull 7 freaking Renes, right? So that would be really bad. So if you want to get a good unit that you want to Origin itself, instead of having a crappy unit that you have to Origin, right? Pickup banner is much better after you have settled the problem of having variety. Now, with that said, things don't always go according to averages, right? There is variances, and because the sample size of these experiments are very huge, so over a large amount of sample size, bigger sample size, you are definitely going to lean towards the pickup banner. But if you are only pulling a small amount itself, the variance can screw you over in a sense. And the best case study is, of course, of someone that put 300 times on the Talia pickup banner and got extremely bad luck, and that is none other than a poor so-called cocky gachas, and that's me, right? So I'm really the best example for having bad luck on the pickup banner. But is it really that bad? So to know whether it's really that bad, we need to review the results that I got from the pickup banner itself. And honestly, from the pickup banner, I got 10 epics, which is below the average of 16 epics, quite evidently, right? It's quite below average. So at 10 epics, I got 7 Talias, including 4 guaranteed Talias. I got 3 Talias naturally from the pickup banner. I got a Chloe, a Violet, and a freaking Rene. In total, I have 10 epic units put from 300 pulls itself. To put it into perspective, we need to compare it to a equivalent results in the normal summon. So we know that the normal banner has this 30 PT, right? So every 30th pull, you're definitely going to get an epic, provided you didn't get any from the first 29 pulls. And this itself, we are not going to assume the worst case scenario, because I feel that my pickup itself, right, isn't the worst that you can get from a pickup banner perspective, right? You can definitely go much worse. So if we were to imagine someone put 14 epics from 270 pulls on the normal summon banner itself, meaning they hit PT maybe 5 times and then they put another 9 epics from the rest of their summons, right? 14 epics compared to my 10 epic units. And at this point, you might be saying, hey, Cocky Gachas, it's quite obvious, right? 14 is more than 10. Obviously, 4 epics is a lot. And to that, you might be correct, but you haven't considered something, which is the 30 rare ratio photos. So if you take a look at what 30 rare photos equate to, it is roughly, right, 260 pulls on any banner, because it's a 46% chance you're going to pull the photo itself, and then also a 1/4 chance that you're going to pull a specific ratio photo. But this pickup banner itself gives you 30 of this rare ratio photos, which for my case, it gives me 30 rare fairy ratio photos, which equates to roughly 4 Renes or 1 legendary plus photo itself. So that itself already makes up for that almost 4 epics. And not to mention, right, I got 7 Talias out of it. So with the normal summon itself, everything is RNG. The 14 epics, you might get completely useless units, right? You might get a lot of say Violet, you might get a lot of cherries, you might get a lot of Siha, Mika, okay, all this nonsense, Irusha. Most of these units are not going to be good, and if you're unlucky, you get a couple more of those units, and you're nowhere near origining a good unit. Or conversely, you can get extremely lucky, but of course, we are going to take a look at the pros and the cons, right? The both sides of the coins. We're not going to just consider, hey, I'm going to get extremely lucky, I'm going to get whatever units I want. That's not the case. This game right now has, I think, 30 or 31 units, so you're not going to be able to get everything that you want, much less being able to origin a unit that you want. In my case, I origin a Talia, which is something that I really wanted, and it's proven to be very strong in helping me progress. So compared to random summons itself, I prefer having the assurance that I'm going to at least get 4 guaranteed Talias, and maybe on the lucky side or average side, I'm probably going to get 3 or 4 Talias, right? So even in my extreme worst luck, not really worst luck, but super bad luck scenario where a lot of people are having second thoughts about pulling on the pickup banner, I myself, in hindsight, in retrospect, I look at it very objectively. I think it's a decent pulling session, all things considered, right? People can call it copium. I think in the moment, I was quite disappointed with the results, and notably, or reasonably so, because I did get shafted a bit. But even then, right, this is the opposite of what it should do to discourage you guys from picking up or pulling on the pickup banner. Even an unlucky person like me is able to look at this objectively and say, hey, this is also better results compared to if I were to pull everything on the normal banner. So I will 100% pull on the pickup banner again, regardless, provided I can hit the milestones, right? So even hitting on the 80 guaranteed pulls milestone itself, you are already slightly ahead if you have average luck compared to normal summons. And if you go even further, you're going to reap even more reward. So all in all, my advice for people is that when you are a true beginner, you're watching this, you're like just starting the game, couple hours, couple days, right? Pull on the normal summon, right? Don't bother with the pickup banner until you can feel at least, I would say 2 teams for the gates itself. So you can at least feel like maybe Human Fairy Gate, Undead Beast Gate, something like that, right? Preferably you go Human Fairy. Right now, those 2 factions are much stronger. And then you are going to start to save your Everstones, and then save it for a pickup banner that you like and origin that unit, and then make that unit carry you itself. And also, side note, I would suggest to pick a unit that is more towards the DPS side for you to pick up compared to someone like Jiho. Honestly, I've seen a lot of people pick up Jiho, go to origin. I don't think it's that good. People might call me a Jiho hater, like I am a Rene hater, but I look at it very objectively, and I think that Jiho is not good in a sense that you don't really need origin copies for it to shine. Even Epic, I'm using it at Epic. I think it works just the same as an origin copy, except for maybe a bit less bulky. But other than that, is it worth the extra investment? Not really. So pick up for something that is on the DPS side. Velena is coming soon, so that is something that you might want to consider. On the contrary, if you are someone that doesn't like to save Everstones and you don't think you can hit all those mileages, the mileage rewards itself, right, then don't bother going with the pickup banner. You're not going to benefit from it, and you might be stressing yourself out unnecessarily. Just go with the normal banner. You're playing the game casually, right? Don't want to save Everstones, then don't save, right? Just go put on the normal banner. It's not that much worse, provided you do hit the RNG on good units instead of the crappy units, right? And that's just my take on the normal banner versus a special banner. But regardless, if you want to see some guy get shafted on the 300 Talia pools, definitely check out this video. You're gonna have a fun time laughing at me, and I'll see you guys over there. This Cocky Gachas signing off.